Happy Friday. Love Fridays. Fridays are great days. Fridays around here are fantabulous days. They're busy days. They're fun days. They're fun Fridays. How are you? It is the 20th day of September 2019. Wake up Wenatchee Valley. We're back out of here from Studio 7 downtown Wenatchee. Dan Kuntz, your host. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got an hour to get a lot of show for you. We got entertainment. We got information. We got weather. We got news. We got sports. We got everything for you today on a busy Friday. Things are looking good weather-wise. A couple of clouds out there, but we're in for a very nice weekend, except Sunday. Weak system coming through. Outside of that, we got a nice weekend. Last weekend of summer, the autumnal equinox is Monday at 12:50 in the morning. Yeah. So while we're all sleeping, 50 minutes after midnight into Monday is when the autumnal equinox comes, and we bid adieu to summer, and we say welcome to autumn. So this is the last weekend of summer, and it has been a cooler than normal summer. Over the weekend, actually probably Monday or Tuesday of next week, the National Weather Service will put together all the statistics and all the data that we need to wrap up summer 2019 from a meteorological and climate standpoint, to see how cool it actually was. But it was a cooler than normal summer. We'll have that for you next week. Today, we got everything going on. We got the weekend events is just going to be full of stuff to do. Lots of things going on. Last night of racing at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, the Wenatchee Wild have a couple of games this weekend. We'll be at Leiboftel Field at the Apple Bowl tonight to do high school football as the Wenatchee Panthers host Mount Boucherie. It's a high school up in Kelowna, British Columbia. They're coming back down to the Wenatchee Valley. They loved coming down here, and they're going to come back down again. And before I forget, I got 2 ticket vouchers, courtesy of our friends at Local Telecommunications for Wenatchee Wild Hockey. Now, this is ticket vouchers, which means you don't have to use them this weekend. You can use them any of the remaining, I think they have 26 home games still remaining. You can use them at any time. If you want to go see them take on the Smoke Eaters tonight or Merritt tomorrow, you can use them for that. It's a pair of them. You get 2 tickets, so it's you and a friend. Or you can use them in November or January or February. So they're ticket vouchers. Winner at NCWLIFE.com. Winner at NCWLIFE.com is the email address. 1 entry per email address. So if you flood my inbox with the same email address over and over and over again, you're out. I just did on the television. Anyway, winner at NCWLIFE.com. Winner at NCWLIFE.com. Deadline is 10 a.m. this morning. 10 a.m. this morning is your deadline to get your entry in, and I'll notify the winner via email again. Oh, hi, Charity. Charity says hi. Again, winner at NCWLIFE.com. 2 vouchers. Again, you don't have to use them this weekend. You can use them any regular season game for Wenatchee Wild Hockey. Deadline is 10 o'clock this morning, and I'll notify the winner by email. About 4 minutes after the hour, Malcolm pushing the buttons this morning on this beautiful Friday. Let's take you around the valley with our tour. Of course, the Cross Cam always gets the honors of batting lead off. I always like the baseball analogies because I like the baseball. Good morning, Wenatchee. Good morning, East Wenatchee. Good morning, Badger Mountain. Good morning, Birch Mountain. Good morning, Sunny Slope. Good morning, Wenatchee Heights. Good morning, everybody. Old Station, Malcolm. That was uncalled for. Why don't we just throw on a rerun and go have breakfast? Beautiful view, gorgeous view, and again, a very pleasant couple of days coming our way. It's going to feel like autumn, of course, but it's going to be, if you like sunshine and nice temperatures, we're in for a good couple of days. Camera 2, where are we off to, Malcolm? I don't know. He gets to decide. I don't know. Tumwater? Oh, it's Tumwater. Yeah. It's a little dark for me to see in our studio. I'm sure it looks a lot better on your high-definition home television than it does here in Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee. But good morning to our friends in Leavenworth. We were up there yesterday. We interviewed the folks who put on the Autumn Leaf Festival, which is next weekend. And also had a chance to go up to the Leavenworth Fish Hatchery and take a look at Salmon Fest, which is also going on this weekend. Leavenworth's a hopping place, and it is a beautiful place to boot. Camera number 3, Malcolm, where are we going? We're going to see Cashmere. Good morning, Cashmere. Hey, hi, Tucker. You out there? Tucker's not awake yet. Yeah, M. Tucker Wagner, Captain Tucker Wagner, I should say, lives in the lovely hamlet of Cashmere, but I can guarantee you he is inspecting the insides of his eyelids at this hour of the morning. And camera number 4, Oh, Billy Goat's looking good. Zoomed in, too. I like that. We used Billy Goat yesterday in an angle that I'd never seen before, and I was completely flummoxed. But not today. Pateris is down there. Brewster in your view. The mighty Columbia River. The mighty Medhow River. And way off in the distance at the very top of your screen, you see that bump way out there. That is Mount Kalispell, and that is in Canada. That's how far that high-definition PTZ camera can view. Just phenomenal views. Great stuff. All of these courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. So there you go, our tour around north central Washington. 6 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service, that all-important weekend weather forecast. Looks like a sinkhole. We had a weak system come in last night, gave us a few clouds. I even had a stray raindrop, I'm told. Not going to be the case today. We're going to start out with some clouds this morning, but by this afternoon, we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine as just a weak high-pressure ridge. It's not particularly strong. It's not very well entrenched, but it's going to be just enough to give us a pretty nice day today. It says mostly cloudy, but trust me, by this afternoon, the clouds will be partying up. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine by the time we get to this afternoon. We'll top off at about 71. A little breezy at times, but nothing we can't handle. Going to high school football tonight. Yeah, jacket's probably going to be required. Partly cloudy, 52 for the overnight low. A little windy at times tonight. Saturday, drop dead gorgeous. This is the one day that high pressure ridge is going to be centered right over the state of Washington. So gobs of gooey good sunshine tomorrow and a high of 73 degrees. And then we have a weak little system, a quick hitting frontal system comes in on Sunday. So Sunday we go right back to the other side of the coin. Lots of clouds, pretty good chance of rain. Not a lot of rain, just light showers, sprinkles here and there, but certainly cloudy on Sunday and a high near 65. Now, next week looks really good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Take a look at that. Thursday, maybe a little system. Again, it's so far out that sometimes the computer models just don't know what to do with it. But for the most part, the first full week of autumn looks pretty darn good with temperatures just about normal for this time of the year in the lower 70s. So again, clouds this morning, just a few high clouds. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine for the balance of the day today. Lots of sunshine Saturday, clouds and rain on Sunday. Then we set up for a really nice week next week. For the record, yesterday's high was 73. Our normal high was 75, so it was about normal. And one more little item. Sunrise this morning was at 6:45. Sunset tonight will be at 7:03. That buys us 12 hours and 18 minutes of daylight. We keep getting that little starting to tilt that way, the balance of sunshine. And again, the autumnal equinox is early Monday morning at 12:50. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Friday morning news. And let me tell you something, it's an adult portion of news. It's a lot of it, but we don't check identification. So you got that going for you, which is nice. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion at CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
We are back 10 minutes after the hour on this Friday. We have a few high clouds, 59 degrees. We'll have morning clouds, afternoon sun. We'll get up to right around 70 for the afternoon high. Lots of sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful Saturday coming our way. Highs in the lower 70s. Clouds and rain expected on Sunday. Here's what's making headlines on this Friday. After another sinkhole was discovered Wednesday, Chelan County says it's going to need to replace about 1,000 feet of stormwater pipe in South Wenatchee. Now, this is the second sinkhole on South Wenatchee Avenue. This is near Boudry Street. The first sinkhole has been fenced off since it first appeared back in June. Now, the new sinkhole on the shoulder of the road is going to be covered with a steel plate, and that happened yesterday. Now, the county received a $755,000 state grant to replace the stormwater pipe in 2021, but now it says it's going to have to go ahead with the replacement instead of waiting for the grant money. Brad Harn is the Chelan County Public Works road supervisor, and he says the third sinkhole in the county this year, which is very unusual. It doesn't normally happen. A sinkhole below Birch Mountain Road, by the way, was repaired last week. Well, students at Wenatchee High School and other schools around the valley are expected to join the global climate strike. They're going to walk out of class today, and they're going to march to Wenatchee City Hall. Now, the youth-led action, that's more footage of the sinkhole there near Booty Street. The youth-led action is meant to spur governments and industries to respond to the climate crisis. Now, our very own Jefferson Robbins met on the steps of City Hall yesterday with one of the local student leaders.
This Wenatchee action is part of a larger worldwide, nationwide network of actions that are all going to be taking place over the same period,
Yes.
starting Friday and moving on for a couple of days. So what are the base goals of that climate action?
Well, we are wanting clean, renewable energy by the year 2035. And with Governor Inslee helping out, it's a very distant goal, and it seems as though it'll happen soon, which is great. And we're trying to raise awareness that the youth do care and that this world is our future, and keeping it clean is very important.
How old were you when you started learning about climate change and thinking about the possible consequences?
Well, living in this valley for quite a few years now, I have always been around wildfires, and seeing progressively with the years as the fires increase, you know, it makes interest peak because it's a problem, and the solution is so incredibly simple if we try and find the root of the problem and solve it. And so I've been looking into that for many years. I was around like 8 or 9 maybe.
What do you expect to happen on Friday, specifically here in the Wenatchee action?
Well, we are expecting around 60 attendees for the march. And then I'm expecting it to be quite the success. I think that a lot of people are going to be moved by it. And with the help of 350 Wenatchee and our peers, I think we can really make change.
What's been your school's response? I mean, have you been told maybe you should think about this, or we'll grant you a time off? What has WHS said?
Principal Anderson is not granting us times off. So we will have to be excused as any other school day we would be if we were in school, which is a little bit dismaying, and at first was disencouraging, but I think it's okay, and I think if someone really wants to make it, they'll make efforts to go.
The likelihood is you will see some of these progressive changes as a result of climate decline. You know, being 15 and looking forward to that kind of future, you know, how does that make you feel?
I feel almost optimistic because looking back at the fuel industry, it is ruled by the top 1% and really rich people, and who maybe aren't in the environments that we're in as often, and they don't necessarily get to see that. And as a young person, I believe that it is on my shoulders and my peers' shoulders to help make change. And so, you know, I'm really hoping we can make progress in the future.
We'll have more on the global climate strike, the local global climate strike, on the evening news tonight at 5 o'clock. 2 people are charged in a long-running fish and wildlife investigation into stolen bighorn sheep remains. Dennis Leroy Sproul, 56, and Rain Morrison Borgen, age 59. They're charged with first-degree theft for allegedly breaking into a state fish and wildlife storage facility north of Wenatchee, where the remains of wild sheep are sometimes kept, and then taking skulls to eventually sell. Police said when they searched the pair's home on Franklin Street in February, they found 4 bighorn skulls buried in the backyard. Bighorn sheep are protected under state law, and it's illegal to collect or sell their remains without a permit. There are only about 1,700 such animals ranging in eastern Washington. Well, all sorts of equipment, heavy and otherwise, are going to be up for auction on September 28th at Chelan County PUD and Public Works and other people have their annual surplus auction. Basically, they're getting rid of equipment that they don't need anymore. The beginning begins at 9 a.m. Again, this will be on the 28th at 210 Easy Street in Wenatchee. You can also bid online. They got trucks and tractors, machinery, passenger vehicles from the PUD and Chelan County. Chuck Yarbo Auctioneers of Moses Lake is going to be handling the bidding. A complete list of all the items for sale, by the way, can be found on their website at yarbo.com. Well, Chelan Mayor Mike Cooney is going to be honored by the Association of Washington Cities for, among other things, his efforts to address the city's housing shortages. Cooney will receive the AWC All-Star Award at Tuesday's City Council meeting. The award recognizes city officials who publicly advocate for cities and towns in Washington state. Cooney testified in Olympia earlier this year on the unique housing challenges facing the city of Chelan. Cooney, of course, faces a re-election challenge from former Chelan Mayor Bob Getty in the November 5th general election. Well, elementary school students from throughout north central Washington convened on the Leavenworth Fish Hatchery yesterday. It was day one of the 3-day Wenatchee River Salmon Festival. I got a chance to pay him a visit, and here we go. Under sunshine and blue skies, and after a week of classroom study, students got to experience the history of the salmon firsthand today. We spoke to the event organizers.
I'm Corky Broadus, and this is Haley Croce, and we're the co-directors of this year's Salmon Fest. So welcome to our 29th annual Wenatchee River Salmon Festival here on beautiful Icicle Creek with Sleeping Lady Mountain looking right over our shoulders. Today we're greeting about 1,500 school students, and tomorrow we will as well. And these students come from all over Central Washington, right, Haley?
All over. We have some kids here from Yakima today, and Eastmont and Ephrata, and all over the valley.
Let us tell you, Salmon Fest is about connecting people with nature. It's about bringing kids to the outdoors and living what we call sharing in a salmon experience together with top-notch, high-quality natural resource educators. Tribal leaders from 20 different tribes are here with a special program that you'll see behind us called River Ramble. It's a gathering of the tribes like never before.
Hi, Bob Bauer with Wenatchee River Salmon Festival. I work with the Chelan County PUD, and we are sponsoring the Native American Village. And this year we've upped it quite a bit. We've added River Ramble experience, so the kids get to go through and experience what dugout canoes are all about, salmon bake demonstration. There's going to be drumming lessons, and we also have teepee setup, atlatl, flint napping, cultural fishing techniques and technology. So we've just taken the River Ramble experience, we've upped it. It used to be at Rocky Reach Dam. It's now out here, which means we, instead of reaching about 1,200 people, will probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 7,000 guests go through this great Native American cultural experience.
So we run our school days today and tomorrow, and then Saturday is the free day for all the public, and we call it free family fun.
Family Day on Saturday runs from 10 to 5. It's free for all ages and features live entertainment and the traditional tribal parade. Dan Kuntz, NCWLIFE News. It's always great to visit the lovely town of Leavenworth. We had a great time yesterday. There's no excuse if you can't sit around the house this weekend and say there's nothing to do. There's tons of things to do. We have an in-house expert. Her name is Megan McPherson, and here's your weekend events.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The NCW Walk to End Alzheimer's is this Saturday at Pybus Public Market. The Alzheimer's Association North Central Washington Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest event to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. This inspiring event calls on participants of all ages and abilities to reclaim the future for millions. Registration opens at 8:30 a.m., the ceremony is at 9:30 a.m., and the walk is at 10 a.m. Seattle Children's Hospital and Pybus Market Charitable Foundation are hosting a free bike helmet fitting and giveaway at the west entrance to Pybus Public Market this Saturday from 10 to 1. The bike helmets are for kids ages 1 to 18. Kids must be present to be fitted and supplies are limited. The Wenatchee River Salmon Festival Free Community Day is this Saturday from 10 to 5 at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. Learn about the connections between our rivers, salmon and people, and other wildlife and habitats through educational and recreation activities. Salmon Fest is excited to partner with the Chelan County PUD and their River Ramble activities for the 2019 Salmon Fest events. These include storytelling, teepee setup, traditional canoe use, traditional drumming demo, traditional salmon bake, traditional salmon fishing techniques, and more. WSU Chelan Douglas County Master Gardeners is hosting Fall into Spring. Plant and prepare now for next year this Saturday from 10 to 12 at the Community Education Garden off Western Avenue in Wenatchee. Learn about perennials, bulbs, tubers, trees, and grasses for year-round beauty and color. Learn about putting your garden to bed, fall rose pruning for prize-winning blooms, how to enjoy root crops all winter long, and how to save seeds for next year's garden. And finally, gather at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center for bacon, bourbon, bluegrass, and brews this Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. Featuring live music, this event will raise money for the museum. All ticket holders will receive 4 tasting tickets and 2 full pour tokens. The first 125 ticket holders will receive a commemorative tasting glass. Samples of bacon and pork appetizers are included in the ticket price. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
That's a lot of events, and if you're just joining us, if you have weekend plans, Saturday looks just beautiful, sunshine, lower 70s, but Sunday we're going to cloud up, a little bit of light rain and highs in the lower 60s. There's a lot of things going on this weekend. Don't forget the news will come your way. Grant Olson in the anchor chair, Eric Granstrom handling sports, and you can check out the news at 5, 6, and 10, the NCWLIFE Evening News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on this very television station, available for you to watch on demand if you want. By going to our website at ncwlife.com. You can either watch the live stream at 5, 6, or 10, or you can simply watch the news at your own leisure on any of your smart devices. Even a couple of dumb devices might work as well. The news with Grant and Eric at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And don't forget, we got high school football tonight from Leap Hospital Field at the Apple Bowl as the Panthers take on Mount Boucherie. We're looking forward to that. Busy, busy Friday, and we got a lot of show left to go. Speaking of sports, you ready for a lot of sports? Buckle your seatbelt. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCWLIFE has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
As the leaves change their colors, Leavenworth prepares for their fall celebration, the Autumn Leaf Festival. All weekend, your family can enjoy many activities, including dancing, live music, inflatables, and the Grand Parade Saturday at noon. Please thank our sponsors who supported this message.
Icicle Brewing Company, your beer from here. Check them out downtown on Front Street or on the web at iciclebrewing.com. Eating and drinking keeps body and soul together, an old Bavarian saying. Check us out on Front Street or on the web at munchenhouse.com.
Gee, it's Friday, can you tell? 24 minutes after the hour, the ever-widening world of sports. We'll start out with what happened last night in the world of prep sports to the Les Schwab scoreboard. We go. We'll start out with high school soccer. Eastmont traveled to Eisenhower. We keep getting that lovely view of the valley. Eastmont traveled to Eisenhower, knocked off the Cadets 2-0, and Liberty Bell shut out Manson 4-0. On the Les Schwab prep volleyball scoreboard last night, Eastmont Wildcats came out strong, swept aside Eisenhower. No real issues there. 25-14, 19, and 18. Our cameras were there. Eric Granstrom was there. Here are your highlights, I hope. I really hope. I really hope. Seriously, the highlights are great. They're 2 minutes. Apparently, they're not playing. Should I draw them on a piece of paper, Malcolm? Or do you want, Malcolm, do you want to move on, or? Live TV, what do you do? Anyway, yeah, Eastmont won. They dispatched Eisenhower. It was a fun game to do. Wenatchee, by the way, They improved to 2-0 in Big Nine play. They went down to Yakima, and they knocked off Davis 25-18, 17, and 20. Quincy edged East Valley 3-2. They fell behind 2-1, but they came back, and Chelan had a little trouble. They beat Zilla in 3 straight sets. West Valley blanked Moses Lake 3-0, but the Chiefs played the defending state champions pretty tough, and Lake Roosevelt defeated Waterville. Mansfield, that was in... Oh, there's the volleyball scoreboard. There we go. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the pool, where Eastmont swept a double duel with Davis and Eisenhower. In the pool yesterday, the Wildcats beat the Pirates 117-166. There's your score, and they topped the Cadets 115-67. And in the first Big Nine cross-country meet of the season, Wenatchee's Tatum Gross-Didier took first place in the girls' race. Nicely done, a time of 19:49. Panthers went 4-2 in the dual meet. Eastmont was 3-3 on the boys' side. Wenatchee was 4-2, while the Wildcats were 2-4. Let's move forward. Coming up tonight on the NCWLIFE channel, of course, is Prep Football. Friday Night Lights, the Wenatchee Panthers hosting Mount Boucherie, the Bears. From Kelowna, British Columbia, Wenatchee's off to a 1-1 start. The Bears come in 0-2. They're, of course, in their own league up there in British Columbia. Now, while Panther coach Scott Devereaux admits he doesn't know a lot about his opponent tonight, he has set very specific goals for his club.
Just to keep working on our execution. This is a team that competitively we know we are better than they are, and we need to show that Friday night. We have some goals for our offense and goals for our defense as far as things like yards gained and missed tackles and things like that that we need to achieve, or there's a penalty if we don't.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, we won't be joining them for the gassers, that's for sure. Scott, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Yeah, Wenatchee hopes to get their passing game going again tonight with quarterback Camden Searman finding receivers like J.J. Jelstein. They're a good tandem. Jelstein says a connection on Friday nights begins in the off-season with the two working together a bunch.
It's helped to build our chemistry. He trusts me a lot more than he did last year, which is nice because those 50-50 balls, he'll let you go up and get them because he trusts you enough to do so. It's also helped with his route timing, just him knowing where he needs to put the ball, especially for me.
If you can't make it to historic Liebhoff Field to the Apple Bowl, we always encourage folks to go out and watch the game in person. But if you can't, you can watch the game live right here on the NCWLIFE channel with Eric Grandstrom and Grant Olson. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. The Eastmont Wildcats on the road down in Ellensburg. They got a non-league game, week 3 of the season. Wildcat coach Michael Don says, his kids are going to be prepared for a tough Bulldog team, but he has some inside knowledge.
Tell the kids, I coached at Ellensburg a long time ago with Coach Affalter when I was finishing up college, and I just remember that they had legit rodeo kids. These aren't, just kids from Eastern Washington because they live on this side of the mountain. These are tough, hard-nosed kids. They probably have a kid or two who rides horses or bulls or something like that, and they're tough and they'll hit you in the mouth. Our kids still talked about it. One of our older guys just made the comment. He goes, "No, I got hit harder than I've ever been hit by those guys last year." They don't always look the most physically impressive, but they're tough and they play hard and they do a great job.
Senior quarterback Carson Everhart says a win tonight is extremely important for his Eastmont squad. They want to keep their team goals alive for this season.
We just want to advance farther than what we did as a team last year, trying to win some playoff games, try to go undefeated. For me personally, I'm trying to get first team all league, be the first quarterback at Eastmont to get first team all league. Just try to improve from last year and just get the stepping stones for the next year under us.
There is a lot of high school football going on tonight. Let's take a look at the schedule, shall we? You got Moses Lake. They're going to be in Post Falls, Idaho. Cascade will host Mount Baker. That's going to be a very good game. Mount Baker's an excellent team. Wapato is at Cashmere. Chelan welcomes South Whidbey. Quincy travels to Grandview. Ephrata is in Prosser. Manson will host Liberty Bell. Antioch is at Bridgeport. And in the Battle of the Hyphens, it's Waterville, Mansfield, Simon Garfunkel taking on Wilbur Creston, Seals, and Crofts. Coming up in girls softball tomorrow, Quincy will host, girls soccer tomorrow. Softball's in the spring. Quincy hosts Walook at noon, then at 1. Davis plays at Wenatchee. Eastmont hosts Lewis and Clark, and Moses Lake is on the road at West Valley. Let's do Saturday's volleyball schedule. You got Cascade. They're in Connell. Chelan travels to Kiona Benton. That's at 10 a.m. Waterville Mansfield has a date with Orville on the road at 12:30. Swimming, Wenatchee swimmers will be on the road. It's the Mid-Columbia Invite at Southridge tomorrow at 11 a.m. And on the cross-country schedule, Wenatchee will host Bothell, Bridgeport, Cashmere, Ellensburg, Lake Roosevelt, Montesano, Omak, and Tenasket. It's the Wenatchee Invite at 11 a.m. Eastmont's running at the Apple Ridge Invite at 11, and Cascades on the west side. They'll take on everybody in the Woodby Island Invitational at 11 a.m. The Wenatchee Wild continue their 4-game homestand. They got games tonight and tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center. The Trail Smoke Eaters tonight, the Merritt Centennials tomorrow. And don't forget, you can win ticket vouchers. You can use them for this weekend or any Wenatchee Wild regular season game by emailing me, winner at ncwlife.com. One entry per email address, please. One entry per email address, please. These are ticket vouchers. You don't have to use them this weekend. You can use them for any game that you want. Winner at ncwlife.com, any regular season game, and your deadline to get your entry in is at 10 o'clock this morning. Hey, if you haven't been to the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval yet this year, you got one more chance, because Saturday night they wrap it all up. The Neil Newberry 125, presented by Pepsi. You got the Northwest Super Late Models, also racing. You got the Dix Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, the Bandoleros. Gates open at 4:30, and they'll start driving and turning left at 6 o'clock. Oh, let me tell you about the college football. We got college football tomorrow, Eastern Washington. They got a league game, Big Sky play. They got Idaho. They're on the road, by the way. Also at 12, Central Washington is on the road at Central New Mexico. Number 22, Washington, takes on Brigham Young at 12:30 tomorrow with TV coverage. And then tomorrow night, Washington State will host UCLA in a Pac-12 clash on ESPN. On Sunday, the Seahawks take on the New Orleans Saints. Of course, Drew Brees won't be there. Saints coming to CenturyLink Field 1-1. Seahawks are 2-0. Kickoff on Fox is at 1:25. Seattle and Pittsburgh went extra innings Thursday. We watched it in the newsroom. Mariners came out on top in 11 innings, 6-5. Austin Nola's RBI ground out in the top of the 11th was the difference as the Mariners pulled off the 3-game sweep. Shed Long continues to produce in the leadoff spot. He went 3 for 5 with a run and a couple of RBIs. That's the new coach of the Apple Sox. We'll get to that in just a little bit. The two teams traded 4 runs in the second inning before the bullpens took over. Seattle backed up Yusei Kikuchi with 6 pitchers who allowed 1 run, 1 hit, and 6 strikeouts. Seattle is in Baltimore today. Eat the crab cakes. They're good. Felix Hernandez, by the way, pitches for the mound. As we all know, Felix's days with the Mariners are dwindling down to a precious few. You briefly saw a photo of the brand new head coach of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. You get to see him again. His name is Ian Sanderson. He's going to replace Kyle Crustangel, who stepped down following last season. Sanderson brings a championship pedigree to the Apple Sox. He coached at Lower Columbia College since 2015 as an associate head coach and pitching coach. They won the NWAC in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Sanderson has spent the last 2 seasons as the Victoria Harbor Cats pitching coach. Welcome to the big city, Ian. And that's just some of the games that people are playing. By the way, the Yankees won the American League East, and Eric didn't put it in sports. By the way, in the second half of the show, we're going to get those Eastmont Eisenhower volleyball highlights up for you. We want to make sure we played those. Kids get the recognition they deserve. It's 33 minutes after the hour. Let's do the obscure holiday. We had National Cheeseburger Day on Wednesday, and just 2 days later, it's National Pepperoni Pizza Day. That looks good. That looks really good. Almost everybody loves pizza. I have one friend who doesn't like pizza. He just doesn't like it. I don't know why. He just doesn't like it. But pizza is just, everybody loves pizza, except for my one friend. It's versatile. I know people who have pizza for breakfast, certainly for lunch or dinner. But today is a special day. It's pepperoni pizza, without question, the most popular variety of pizza. In fact, 36% of people, keep in mind, you can put a lot of different things on pizza. But the latest surveys show that 36% of the people who like pizza like pepperoni pizza. The best. Over 3 billion pizzas are sold in this country every year. The number 1 day for pizza selling, people buying and consuming pizza, not surprisingly, Super Bowl Sunday. But number 2 on that list of the most popular days to eat pizza is Halloween. Makes sense. You got to stay home for the most part and answer the door and hand out the candy, and so you send out for pizza. Makes perfect sense. Over 17% of all restaurants serve pizza almost exclusively, and each American eats 23 pounds of pizza every year. Happy National Pepperoni Pizza Day. By the way, almost every national pizza chain you can think of, and even some of the non-national ones, the local ones, are all having some sort of pepperoni pizza deal going on. So check it out. If there's a pizza joint in the Wenatchee Valley, the odds are pretty good. They got a special deal today on pepperoni pizza. 36 minutes after the hour today in history. 57 years ago today, Ross Barnett, the governor of Mississippi, said, sorry, James Meredith, you can't come to the University of Mississippi. The University of Mississippi was segregated. No African Americans of any kind was allowed into Ole Miss. James Meredith said, well, I'm going to enroll. And the governor said, we're not letting you in. He said, in fact, no school in my state will ever be integrated. Ross Barnett ended up on the wrong side of history. James Meredith eventually, of course, got in to Ole Miss, September 20th, 1962. This is the 50th anniversary of a landmark day in the history of the Beatles. The photo that you see there was taken on this date, September 20th, 1969. You see John and Yoko and Paul and Ringo and their manager, Alan Klein. George Harrison was not in the photograph. He was visiting his mother in Liverpool at the time. Right after this photo was taken, John and Paul and Ringo met in a private room, and John said, I'm leaving the group. John said, I'm leaving the Beatles. As soon as we can get all of our business entanglements straightened out, I'm gone. John Lennon told the other members of the group that he would be leaving the Beatles on this date 50 years ago today. 48 years ago today, September 20th, 1971. Check out that path. It was Hurricane Irene, went across the Mediterranean, went across the Caribbean there, as you see. It just barely skirted through Honduras, Hurricane Irene, but it had just enough strength that by the time it got to the Pacific Ocean, it picked up enough steam to become another hurricane. Hurricane Irene became Hurricane Olivia once it made it to the other side of the North American continent. It was the first known hurricane to cross from the Atlantic into the Pacific. Happened on this date 48 years ago today. September 20th, 1980, 38 years ago today, the Woodward Stakes in Belmont Park in New York City, a big race, and we're going to play it for you while I call the action. You ready, Malcolm? Here we go, and they're off. And there is a Spectacular Bid. And Spectacular Bid is off to a huge lead here. Just really not a lot of challenges. As you can see, Spectacular Bid has opened up a 5-horse lead as they head down the first turn there. Spectacular Bid now has a 14-horse lead, and then it just keeps going, and Spectacular Bid keeps running, and Spectacular Bid is... What happened? Spectacular Bid won the Woodward Stakes. Spectacular Bid had to win the Woodward Stakes. No other horse entered. This was the last race in the career of Spectacular Bid before he went off to stud. And started a whole bunch of very famous and award-winning racehorses, but simply it was a stakes race, and so the more horses that enter, the more money is involved. But nobody entered, but they still had to run the race. Obviously, at Belmont Park, no bets were taken on Spectacular Bid, and as you can tell, Spectacular Bid is kind of jogged around the track. Spectacular Bid winning the Woodward Stakes at Belmont Park in New York City on this date, September 20th, 1980, all by himself. And finally, September 20th, 1982. This is the 37th anniversary of the first ever strike in the National Football League. Here's a local report from Cleveland affiliate WNEW.
Hello, Cleveland. I'm Ted Henry, and the strike is on. The National Football League has called a strike that will begin tomorrow. Gibb Shanley has more on this, and Gibb, is it going to be a long one?
I don't know, Ted. I didn't think they'd do it in the first place, so I can't tell how long it's going to go. For the first time in the 63-year history of the NFL, a strike will stop play. The Players Association's Executive Committee decided at a meeting today that work stoppage will begin immediately following tonight's game between New York and Green Bay.
Yeah, there was a strike. There had been strikes before, but never during regular season play. And let me tell you something, the networks, they didn't know what to do. The following Sunday, because there wasn't any football game, CBS actually replayed the previous year's Super Bowl. And then they started doing Division III football. Seriously, John Madden and Pat Summerall covered Baldwin Wallace taking on Wittenberg. They had to do something. Canadian Football League, that was still in season, so ESPN had that, and NBC bought the rights from ESPN to air Canadian football, and they brought their big production values with them, multiple cameras, instant replay, and they did 4 Canadian Football League games on NBC. Nobody watched. The network gave up, and they just basically waited for the strike to end, and it ended after 57 games. The very first NFL strike. There would be others. 40 minutes after the hour, let's do birthdays. My favorite card, that's Sophia Loren. She's still looking good. You want to do Sophia Loren? Ah, there he is. There's Jay Ward. You know, it's Friday. We should have just thrown on a rerun, Malcolm, and had breakfast. We really should have. Jay Ward created my all-time favorite cartoon, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Also Dudley Do-Right, Peabody and Sherman, Georgia of the Jungle, Tom Slick, Super Chicken, and of course Rocky and Bullwinkle, the all-time classic cartoon, my personal favorite. I've seen them all. I got the DVDs at home. The man who created all of those was Jay Ward, and he was born in the state in 1920. If you want a good laugh, just slap on a DVD of Dudley Do-Right or look at YouTube. It works every time. You just briefly saw a photo of Sophia Loren. We'll show it again. The famous Italian actress, 85 years old today, doing good. She has an Academy Award in a movie that she never spoke a single line of English. That's how good an actress she really was. Very underappreciated. Everybody thought she was just a good-looking woman, and she is a good-looking woman. But she was a good actress, too, and still is. She's 85 years old today. And Dale Chihuly celebrates a birthday, the American sculptor and educator. He wears the eye patch because in 1976, he was in England. Excuse me. He was involved in a head-on accident, and he flew right through the windshield of the car, and he lost his vision in his left eye. He was severely cut in his left eye. He recovered. He continued to blow glass. And then in 1979, he had a body surfing accident, and he can no longer physically do it. So what Dale does now is he designs the pieces, and he has other people actually do the glass blowing. The guy's a genius, and every time you see something that Dale Chihuly either blew himself or had somebody else off his design, you go, wow, that's pretty darn impressive. 42 minutes after the hour, we did have a little video snafu with the highlights from the Eastmont-Eisenhower volleyball match from last night, a convincing and resounding victory from the Eastmont Wildcats. We have those highlights for you now, so let's take a look at them.
How about this service continuation for Sarah Swartz? Her next serve, back line again, Alan Greggs is there. Front line, and the kill attempt. It goes out of bounds, and it's out to Eastmont, and the point to Eastmont, and the Wildcats win game 1 here over Eisenhower, 25-14. 24-19 the score. Again, the service to Baker. Rifle serve. Nicolino. Grasseth looking for the winning point. They get it! Well, it took a while, but Eastmont finally got it. 25-19, our score here in game 2. Just like we had it last game. Eastmont was right on the verge for quite a while. Finally got it, 25-19. It's 24-18 right here on the service. It's Castle. Middle back she'll go. Hoff is there to Just. The kill attempt. Backline, Alan Greggs goes to a knee to get it. Johnson gets it back over. Backline, stand away. Up front it comes to Just. She'll reverse it over, and there's the kill, and there's the game! Riley Hirsch puts it away for the Wildcats as they win it here, 25-18.
You guys get up on that front line. It looks like there's a lot of confidence between you and a couple of the other girls.
Yeah, it's really fun. We've been really bonded at the start of the season, so we're working together even better now. Just shut them down.
Talk about your game tonight. You look like you were having some fun out there.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. Everybody just played together as a team, and we won just through playing together, and yeah.
What about your serving tonight? That first game, boy, I'll tell you, you were on fire.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but sometimes you just gotta like ignore the crowd and go for it.
Your guys' serving tonight, never really give them a chance to set things up on the other side.
Yeah, that's definitely something we work on. I mean, games are won and lost off a serve. It's a free point if we miss it, so we work on aggressive serving, and they did that tonight. It definitely prevailed.
Yeah, it was a fun game to do. Congratulations to Eastmont. Eastmont and Wenatchee are heading for a showdown. Both teams undefeated in the league, and they will do battle in the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium, by the way, next week. It is 44 minutes after the hour. If we ever do a retrospective, like a best of Wenatchee Valley show, this ain't going to be one of them. I can tell you that. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want to. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbiss here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today. 509-663-7900.
Campfire North Central Washington, serving youth ages 3 to 18. Register today in one of Campfire's programs. Club members meet regularly with volunteer leaders to learn responsibility, sharing, cooperation, and citizenship. When a child is involved in Campfire, they will be actively learning and engaged in activities, encouraged to learn new skills, feel a part of the group, learn to work in a team setting, participate in planning, goal setting, and making lasting memories.
How do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Some jobs are a calling. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support local firefighters. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select firefighter organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little. With the Gisa Firefighters Affinity debit card.
Your ability to help real people in our local community gain skills through free job training programs has gotten a whole lot easier. Goodwill of the Columbia is proud to announce the opening of our new 20,000 square foot store on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick. Designed with you in mind, shopping at and donating to Goodwill is now easier than ever. Shop, donate, be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the new store on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Hey, this is Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, if there's another school shooting in this country, the blame in part is going to fall at the feet of those people who've been crying for more governmental legislation and more restrictive gun laws. Now, maybe these things will help, maybe, but they're only going to help in the future. The only thing that has the hope of stopping whoever is out there right now who already has the guns to use is restricted access to schools with metal detectors and trained armed professionals on scene. And I'm sorry, that's true. Now, of course, this is totally unacceptable to those who say more guns won't solve the problem. Well, this attitude of being unwilling to recognize that nothing the government is going to do tomorrow is going to stop a school shooting today, they're going to be part of the blame for, God forbid, another school shooting. It's not a matter of more guns. The guns are already there, and that's the reality. And this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
After 21 years at the Lake Chelan Mailboxes store, Jerry and Sherry are ready to retire. Jerry and Sherry would like to thank everyone and give some lucky person a business opportunity. That's right, you could own a great small business in Lake Chelan with a proven track record. This includes FedEx, UPS, and USPS services, making it a unique offer. For information on buying Chelan mailboxes, call Jerry or Sherry, and while you're there, wish them well.
In the heart of Apple Country sits Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso, a cozy cafe, a fabulous fruit stand, and an eclectic gift shop. Stop in for a hard cider, local brew, or an espresso. The cool, crisp air brings in a harvest of fresh veggies and fall fruits like pears, plums, and apples. Have lunch and choose the perfect pumpkin for your pie or porch. Celebrate the season with a trip to Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso.
It's Manson Hydrofest on Lake Chelan, September 28th and 29th. American Powerboat Association racing teams will be competing for the 2019 Inboard Western Divisional Championships. 14 classes of inboard hydroplanes, flat bottoms, vintage hydroplanes, tunnel boats, and junior outboard hydroplanes will tear up the waters of Lake Chelan. Admission is free. Brought to you by Seattle Inboard Racing Association, Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce, and presented by the Manson Chamber of Commerce and moretomanson.com.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley at 52 minutes after the hour. Anybody want to host a local television morning show? Just one of those days. Before we wrap up this program, we wanted to touch on the two big stories we're following and working for you on. Another one, a major problem in the south end of town, south end of Wenatchee, sinkholes. They discovered another one on Wednesday, and because of that, Chelan County says it's going to have to replace about 1,000 feet of stormwater pipe in and around the sinkhole area. Now, this is the second sinkhole on South Wenatchee Avenue near Boudry Street. The first sinkhole has been fenced off, and that appeared back in June after a significant rainstorm. This new sinkhole on the shoulder of the road is going to be covered with a steel plate. Now, the county received a $755,000 state grant to replace the stormwater pipe. And that was supposed to happen in 2021, but it says it's going to go ahead with the replacement anyway. They can't wait for the grant money. Brad Harn is the Chelan County Public Works Road Supervisor. He says the third sinkhole, 3 sinkholes in the county in 1 year, is very, very unusual. Of course, a sinkhole below Birch Mountain Road was repaired last week. Students at Wenatchee High School and other schools are going to be participating in the Global Climate Strike. They're going to be walking out of class today, and they're going to march from Wenatchee High School to City Hall right across the street from our studios. It's a youth-led action. It's meant to spur governments and industries to respond to the climate crisis. Jefferson Robbins met on the steps of the City Hall with one of those local student leaders.
This Wenatchee action is part of a larger worldwide, nationwide network of actions that are all going to be taking place over the same period, starting Friday and moving on for a couple of days. So what are the base goals of that climate action?
Well, we are wanting clean, renewable energy by the year 2035. And with Governor Inslee helping out, it's a very distant goal, and it seems as though it'll happen soon, which is great. And we're trying to raise awareness that the youth do care and that this world is our future, and keeping it clean is very important.
How old were you when you started learning about climate change and thinking about the possible consequences?
Well, living in this valley for quite a few years now, I have always been around wildfires, and seeing progressively with the years as the fires increase, you know, it makes interest peak because it's a problem, and the solution is so incredibly simple if we try and find the root of the problem and solve it. And so I've been looking into that for many years. I was around like 8 or 9 maybe.
What do you expect to happen on Friday, specifically here in the Wenatchee action?
Well, we are expecting around 60 attendees for the march. And then I'm expecting it to be quite the success. I think that a lot of people are going to be moved by it. And with the help of 350 Wenatchee and our peers, I think we can really make change.
What's been your school's response? I mean, have you been told maybe you should think about this, or we'll grant you a time off? What has WHS said?
Principal Anderson is not granting us times off. So we will have to be excused as any other school day we would be if we weren't in school, which is a little bit dismaying and at first was discouraging, but I think it's okay, and I think if someone really wants to make it, they'll make efforts to go.
The likelihood is you will see some of these progressive changes as a result of climate decline. Being 15 and looking forward to that kind of future, how does that make you feel?
I feel almost optimistic because looking back at the fuel industry, it is ruled by the top 1% and really rich people, and who maybe aren't in the environments that we're in as often, and they don't necessarily get to see that. And as a young person, I believe that it is on my shoulders and my peers' shoulders to help make change. And so, I'm really hoping we can make progress in the future.
And we'll have local coverage of the local portion of the global climate strike during the news tonight at 5, 6, and 10. We are going to take a quick break and come back and put this particular version of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley out of its misery with your weather forecast. It's coming up in 1 minute.
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
At the Siren Song Vineyard Estate Winery and Restaurant on the south shore of Lake Chelan, you'll discover a variety of handcrafted wines and a European-inspired menu. Join us for live music, private events and weddings, cooking classes, and more. Sip, dine, and take in the stunning views of Lake Chelan at Siren Song. Visit sirensongwines.com for hours and event information. Everyone has a siren song. What's yours?
And we are back with a couple of minutes left to go in this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Before we bid you adieu, let's take a look at that weather forecast one more time, because it's looking pretty good. We have just a few high clouds, and they're already beginning to leave the area. We have just a small ridge of high pressure. It's not big. It's not going to hang around very long, but it's going to hang around just long enough to give us a couple of nice days today. We'll top off at 71 degrees. A little breezy at times today, but for the most part, the clouds are all but gone now, so we're looking at fairly sunny conditions for the rest of the day today. Partly cloudy tonight, a little breezy at times, 52 for the overnight low. Saturday, no complaints at all. There are so many things going on Saturday. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is coming up this weekend. You got the Wenatchee River Salmon Festival. You got all kinds of cool things, both indoors and outdoors. And boy, is Saturday looking mighty fine. Tons of gooey good sunshine and a high of 73 degrees. And now a quick hitting frontal system with some light rain is going to come in on Sunday. So the sun's going to be taking the day off. Sunday is the last day of summer, by the way, but it's going to feel like autumn with a high of 65. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be dry and sunny with temperatures just about normal. Again, we say goodbye to autumn and we say goodbye to summer and welcome autumn over the weekend. So that's your forecast. One last item of business to get to before I bid you farewell. Don't forget I have these Wenatchee Wild ticket vouchers. You don't have to use these tickets. They're vouchers. They're not tickets. They're vouchers, which means you trade them in for tickets to any Wenatchee Wild regular season home game that you want to go to, and they still got 26 left. So these are vouchers, a courtesy of our friends at LocalTel. Winner winner at ncwlife.com. That's how you enter. That's the email address, winner at ncwlife.com. You have until 10 o'clock this morning to get in your entry. It's one entry per email address, and I will notify the winner via email after 10 o'clock. And provided the show isn't canceled, we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.